Chapter 1. The Whispering Foundation. You stand at the base of an ancient stone temple as the sky dims into a gentle twilight. Fading light casts long shadows across the carved reliefs, and you notice the temperature drop with predictable evening rhythms. Cool air slides across the rough granite beneath your fingertips, and in this hush, you register a subtle vibration. These stones have witnessed countless seasons, yet they still carry a quiet pulse, like the slow breath of the earth itself. That pulse arises from microseisms, continuous low-frequency waves generated by distant oceans and shifting plates. You imagine the temple's blocks aligned centuries ago to amplify those tiny tremors, tuning each chamber to a shared rhythm. Plate tectonics shift centimeters each year, slowly sculpting land beneath your feet. In seismology, resonance occurs when structures respond more strongly at certain frequencies, and here you feel the concept come alive beneath your palm. Granite holds a secret in its crystalline heart: quartz. When pressure moves through those tiny crystals, a small electric charge emerges in a phenomenon called the piezoelectric effect. Though imperceptible most times, within this temple's design, the quartz veins may convert mechanical vibrations into subtle currents, connecting stone and ground with an unseen energy. You press closer and notice how each layer of blocks forms a gentle gradient from rough base to polished upper tiers. That transition guides the flow of vibration deep into the earth, creating a feedback loop that seems to draw you inward. Your shoulders soften, your breath slows, and you imagine the stones guiding energy like water through a silent channel. Within you, tension dissolves as you become part of this resonant system. The temple's silent song vibrates alongside your own heartbeat, reminding you that every structure and every being shares in the ongoing dance of natural forces. You sense the continuity between stone, soil, and self, gently awakening an instinct to explore what lies beyond. Beyond this whispering foundation, you sense water's reflection waiting in the next chamber. Chapter 2. The Water-Bound Mirrors. Below the Earth's surface, you stand beside a silent waterway, its ceiling low and curved like a carved dome. The air feels cool and damp against your skin as you trace the shape of each polished stone basin. In the gleam of reflected torchlight, you notice how the curved wall captures brightness, guiding it along a hidden path, just as a lens focuses light into a beam. This subtle mirror effect comes from reflection and curvature. When a surface curves inward, it acts like a concave mirror, concentrating scattered rays into a focused spot. You imagine how ancient craftsmen understood geometry well enough to chisel these forms, or how water and mineral deposits, moving molecule by molecule, laid down layers that created perfect reflective bowls over centuries. You bring your hand close to a droplet that clings to the lip of the basin. Surface tension holds it in place, a tiny globe shaped by cohesive hydrogen bonds within the water. You watch, transfixed, as gravity slowly overcomes the cohesion, pulling the drop downward in a moment of release. This gentle fall echoes Newton's laws. Every action has an equal reaction, unfolding with graceful inevitability. Deeper in this cool chamber, you follow the subterranean stream as it threads through narrow passages. Water flows through fractures in rock, carrying dissolved minerals that feed stalactites and stalagmites above. Each circuit of this natural plumbing is part of a dynamic system where energy and matter circulate in endless exchange. You sense that the patterns you observe here mirror processes happening across rivers, glaciers, even within your own bloodstream. A soft ripple pulses where your foot meets the water's edge, sending concentric circles across the smooth stone. In that motion, you feel a heartbeat of the cavern itself, as though the underground pulse is alive. Each wave carries a secret memory of temperature shifts, mineral currents, and ancient rainfall that seeped here long ago. You lean forward, drawn by the quiet promise of what the next living chamber might reveal. Chapter 3: The Sleeping Stones. You enter the twilight hush of the desert, where sandstone giants rise against a fading sky. You notice their surfaces still radiate warmth after the sun's descent. This warmth comes from thermal conduction, the same process that moves heat through your blanket at night. As limestone walls absorb sunlight by day, they release it slowly, wrapping you in a gentle exhale of comfort. Much like water's specific heat, limestone holds warmth through darkness. Stepping closer, you sense microscopic shifts within each grain. Limestone's calcite crystals expand and contract with temperature, creating subtle currents in the air. These tiny fluctuations, known as thermal expansion, stir faint breezes around your ankles. You watch dust particles dance on invisible waves, imagining each mineral grain as a small engine humming with potential motion. A 1 degree Celsius change drives these micro-movements in pores. In the quiet, you recall how crystals can store memory. Inside each calcite lattice, ions shift when exposed to different pressures or heat, a phenomenon geologists call piezoelectricity. Under pressure, they generate tiny electrical charges, tool for geologists. Over centuries, these stones record the ebb and flow of environmental energies. They whisper stories of ancient skies and shifting sands, preserving echoes of sunlight deep within their structure. Your breathing slows as you feel a faint vibration through the ground. The pyramid's chambers focus ambient noise, just like an acoustic lens tuning specific frequencies. This resonance can amplify even the softest sounds, turning a distant breath into a low humming pulse beneath your feet. Stones resonate at natural frequencies measured in hertz for clarity. You sense a hidden rhythm, a harmonic signature awaiting your discovery. You lean against the cool stone, letting its latent warmth and humming energy settle in your chest. Each grain, each vibration, carries a trace of time and possibility. In this stillness, you feel connected to an unseen force, poised at the edge of resonance. A faint magnetic field from stone's electromagnetic aura brushes your skin. Ahead, deeper secrets lie dormant, waiting to be coaxed into the light. Chapter 4: The Heart of Resonance. You step into a circular chamber, lit by a single lamplight flicker. Stone walls curve around you, inscribed with radial channels carved to specific widths. Each channel acts as a waveguide, guiding sound at its resonance frequency. You sense the gentle hum of air moving in and out, an invisible tide that calls attention to the precision of form and function. In this quiet space, every whisper reaches your inner ear with clarity. Within the dome overhead, standing waves gather at nodes where compression and rarefaction meet. This is acoustic resonance, a phenomenon where sound waves of a matching frequency reinforce each other. You feel the science of sound unfolding around you, like ripples on a still pond converging at the center. Each echo is a measured repetition, a soft lesson in physics that unfolds in time. As you breathe, you notice a sympathetic vibration in your own chest. Bones behave like natural resonators, amplifying low frequencies in harmony with the chamber's design. This is not magic, but biology aligned with architecture. Tiny hairs in your inner ear, cilia, translate mechanical vibrations into neural signals, tuning you into the pure physics of perception. You become aware of the interplay between engineered stone and living tissue. Your breath slows and matches the pulse of the echoes. Energy coils around you like a spiral, drawing your focus inward. You feel a subtle release of tension as each tone gently massages the network of tissue and bone. The chamber's dome acts like an acoustic lens, concentrating frequencies toward the center. In response, your mind settles into a deeper rhythm, bridging the gap between tangible matter and the sensation of stillness. At the chamber's threshold, a shaft of sunlight appears, cutting across the dust-laden air with warmth. Photons traveling in lines scatter off airborne particles, painting golden motes that dance in motion. Its golden beam carries the promise of transformation, light and sound merging at a point of awareness, hinting at a new level of clarity and illumination. You await its embrace, curious how refraction of waves will reveal the next hidden harmony. Chapter 5. The Canvas of Sunlight. Morning light filters through narrow shafts, painting slanting stripes upon smooth walls. You inhale cool air as slender beams reveal dust motes. In gentle waves, light spreads with wavelengths measured in hundreds of nanometers, carrying energy from our nearest star. You feel warmth infused by countless photons, each a quantum packet moving at nearly 300,000 kilometers per second. This interplay of particle and wave awakens quiet curiosity within you. Across these walls, ancient hieroglyphs emerge, carved to capture and channel sunlight. You trace each groove, imagining it as a miniature parabolic reflector, bending rays toward focused points where warmth concentrates. The principles of geometric optics guide this design. Reflected angles equal incoming angles, and focused photons deliver energy with intensity. You envision placing a drop of water at the focal zone, tasting the subtle heat that transforms dispersed beams into tangible warmth. The dance of light and shadow inscribes a silent code across stone panels. You recognize it as an ancient solar tracker, calibrated to follow the sun's arc from dawn to dusk. Basic physics tells you the angle of incidence governs intensity. Energy delivered varies with the cosine of the angle relative to the surface. This simple cosine law underlies both leaf arrangements in a forest canopy and modern solar panels seeking maximum efficiency. But beyond the tapestry, soft melodies resonate in stone, hints of flowing water below. You feel the promise of subterranean waterways, channels carved by time to transport liquid in hidden veins. Water's high specific heat allows it to store and carry thermal energy, smoothing temperature fluctuations as it moves. Ancient engineers might have combined solar-heated stones with cooled currents, creating a harmonious cycle. Light warms, water conveys, and both maintain balance in stillness. In this quiet chamber, you close your eyes and sense the gentle warmth lingering on your skin. You imagine tracing the path of a photon into the hidden waterways below, curious about how light and water dance together in unseen realms. You remain poised between warmth and cool mystery, eager to follow the next current that flows gently beyond stone and shadow. Chapter 6. The Underground Canals. You steady your breath at the top of a hidden stairway, each step echoing like a heartbeat against stone. Damp earth rises in the air, rich with limestone dust and ancient moisture. You notice faint veins of water seeping through microfractures, a reminder that porous rock can filter and store precious fluid. The sound of distant drips creates a soft rhythm, a slow measure of geological time. As you descend, the passage narrows into a tunnel carved with surprising precision. These canals resemble the network of capillaries in a body, designed to channel water with careful engineering. You learn how ancient builders understood hydraulic conductivity, using slight gradients to guide fluid flow. The walls feel cool, barely above the dew point, hinting at a steady temperature that regulated humidity below the sun's glare. This subterranean corridor owes its shape to the solubility of limestone, illustrating karst development below the surface. Over thousands of years, rainwater enriched with carbonic acid slowly carved these channels, mirroring cave formation processes found across the world. You sense this chemistry. You trace a polished groove where water once tumbled in gentle rivulets, carrying fine sediment that smoothed the rock over centuries. In scientific terms, you witness erosion and deposition in slow motion. The movement of those currents created low-pressure zones, ensuring water circulated evenly. You imagine the engineers observing experiments with clay models, measuring flow rates with rudimentary tools as you measure sound with your ears. A chamber opens ahead, glittering with crystalline formations. Tiny stalactites drip with calcite-laden water, each drop building mineral structures atom by atom. You recall how calcite precipitates when carbon dioxide escapes, leaving behind a new layer of stone. Light from your torch dances across the crystals, revealing patterns that echo the pyramid's precise geometry above. In this cool silence, you feel the passage of millennia in every droplet. Water here is memory and motion, a living thread between earth and human hands. You sense that this network was never simply functional but also symbolic, connecting underground currents to spiritual beliefs. A gentle rush at the bend urges you to explore the crystalline chambers beyond. Chapter 7. The Crystal Seals. You step into a vaulted grotto where translucent quartz prisms stand arrayed like silent sentinels. Each crystal is pure silicon dioxide, its rigid lattice formed by oxygen and silicon atoms locked in a repeating pattern. These prisms form in hydrothermal veins under intense heat and pressure. Water drips gently from high ceilings, gathering on prism surfaces before splitting into fine rivulets. When a droplet touches the crystal face, it carries dissolved minerals and ambient ions along the molecular network. Light from hidden openings above filters through the grotto, striking each prism and unveiling hidden rainbows in the stone. In that moment, you witness simple refraction at work. The beam of sunlight slows as it enters the denser material, bending at the boundary between air and quartz. Inside, total internal reflection can trap rays, guiding them along the prism's length. That phenomenon shapes coherent beams, much like fiber optic cables channel data through glass. Angles above the critical angle, around 41 degrees in quartz, reflect fully inside. Here, nature illustrates an ancient optical principle by which energy becomes focused and directed without any forceful machinery. Quartz refractive index is about 1.54. You sense something deeper as the crystals hum under your gaze. This is the piezoelectric effect, where the slight pressure from dripping water distorts the crystal lattice, generating tiny electrical potentials. Those potentials cascade across the assembly, aligning frequencies until they form steady currents. Piezo crystals now power lighters and ultrasound devices by converting pressure to voltage. The grotto transforms water and light into organized energy, anchoring it in coherent beams that pulse with a gentle rhythm. It feels as if you can trace the current's path with your mind, following every ripple of power. Your breath slows in quiet wonder. The refracted patterns ripple like spectral wings drifting across the stone walls, and you understand that these crystal seals are more than decorations. They harmonize ancient forces through resonance, amplifying vibrations when frequencies match a natural rate. Each prism plays its part in an intricate symphony of light, water, and electricity. You know there is one more alignment that remains, waiting in a secret, softly lit chamber, bathed in an eternal flame. Chapter 8. The Eternal Dynamo. You kneel on the cool stone platform, your fingers brushing the phosphorescent glow of lichens that pulse like distant galaxies beneath your touch. Phosphorescence occurs when electrons absorb energy and slowly release photons, creating a gentle lingering light. In the hush, you breathe in earthy scents and notice motes of dust dancing in the glow. This quiet observation invites you deeper into the mystery of the orb before you. Weathered over ages, the platform's concentric rings feel quietly almost alive. As you stand, the orb comes into view, a metallic globe with faint tool marks arching around its equator. It balances perfectly at the platform's center, as if seeking a precise center of mass. Rotational inertia means an object resists changes to its spin, and this orb's symmetry hints at a purpose tied to motion. You sense that ancient hands shaped it with understanding of physics. Light from the lichens glints off its surface, revealing a promise of hidden power. When you lay a palm against the cool surface, a faint vibration pulses beneath your skin. Electromagnetic induction explains that moving a conductor through a magnetic field generates electric current. The orb's metallic core might channel Earth's magnetic flux, and you imagine electrons circling within like a river. Your breath steadies as you consider Faraday's law, the principle that links motion and electricity. In this convergence of metal and magnetism, you recognize the quiet potential energy waiting to be awoken. You close your eyes and picture the planet spinning, rotating at roughly 1700 kilometers per hour at the equator. Angular momentum keeps Earth turning, a gyroscopic stability that anchors seasons and climates. If the orb could couple to that immense rotation, it might draw torque and begin its spin. You envision a subtle shaft or magnetic coupling linking the orb and the ground, transferring motion like a whisper of motion. In your mind, the dynamo hums as worlds align. You open your eyes and feel the orb's quiet hum beneath your palms, like a heartbeat. A melody trembles at the edge of silence, suggesting chambers beyond sight. Hush folds into curiosity. Beyond its magnetic promise, pitched notes from forgotten halls beckon in the dark. Chapter 9. The Forgotten Scrolls. You step into a hidden alcove deep within the ancient library, where time seems to pause. In the dim glow, you notice a shallow niche carved into rough stone. Within it, papyrus fragments lie beneath a layer of amber-hued resin, fragile yet preserved. Your breath quiets as you draw near, curiosity stirring like the first soft pulse of a distant heartbeat. As you trace the uneven surface of the resin, you feel the polymer's microscopic network protecting each delicate fiber. Resin, a natural thermoset, forms cross-linked chains that resist heat and decay, much like a shield for memory. You imagine how its chemistry, born from ancient tree sap, has locked in these scrolls so that their silent stories endure untouched by centuries. Peeling back layers with practiced patience, you expose curving glyphs inked in dark pigment. Each symbol hints at conductors, rods of copper and silver guiding invisible streams of electrons. In simple diagrams, you see how these materials allow free movement of charged particles, contrasting with nearby insulators drawn as dotted lines. This elegant distinction between conductor and insulator feels like a hidden map of energy's gentle flow. Beneath these verses, you sense the hands of ancient engineers, minds tuned to the patterns of current. They crafted circuits to channel power like rivers guided by levees, combining observation and theory in precise alignments. Their knowledge was both revered and secret, shared only with initiates who measured voltage with early electrometers. You honor their quiet ingenuity as you trace each loop and junction in thoughtful reverence. As you unroll the final fragment, your heart slows to the scroll's deliberate rhythm. You sense the steady flow of electrons akin to a calm stream, obeying the balance described by Ohm's law. Voltage divided by resistance yields current. Each glyph resonates with that equation, whispering how small changes in resistance can reshape the entire pattern of flow in a circuit. In this hushed moment, you feel the pulse of discovery stirring within you. The engineer's concealed wisdom merges with your own curiosity, forming a silent promise of revelation. You gather each fragment to carry forward, your mind alive with the electric hum of possibility. Ahead, the summit awaits where all currents converge in harmony. Chapter 10. The Hidden Horizon. You ascend the final ramp with measured steps, feeling the smooth stone cool beneath your feet, as soft dawn's light brushes your shoulders. Around you, the pyramid's faces rise in perfect triangles, each angle precise and unyielding. In geometry, a triangle is the most stable shape because its sides lock in position, resisting distortion under stress. You sense this balance, feeling how form and force intertwine to hold ancient stones aloft across centuries of sun and wind. At the apex, your gaze opens to a horizon that curves softly in every direction. You recall that at sea level, the Earth curves away at about 8 inches per mile squared, a subtle shape gently revealed over long distances. You imagine electric currents flowing between Earth and ionosphere, forming a vast circuit energized by solar radiation. In this high place, you feel connected to that gentle pulse of charged particles dancing unseen overhead. Beneath your feet, the planet's core churns as a molten iron ocean, generating a magnetic field that protects the surface from solar wind. You sense that invisible shield radiating around you, a dynamic force born from convection and steady rotation deep inside Earth. Magnetic lines of force arc from pole to pole, guiding compasses and auroras alike, reminding you that life here depends on this soft, constant guardianship against charged storms from space. Your awareness grows as you view the structure as an energy resonator. In physics, cavities with precise dimensions resonate at specific frequencies, a principle used in radio antennas and microwave ovens. You wonder how this vast stone chamber might amplify subtle vibrations, focusing subtle energy in silent waves. Each vertex and cavity could serve as a tuning fork for cosmic signals, reminding you that form and frequency dance together in every corner of creation. With a deliberate breath, you step beyond known boundaries into an unfolding silence. Above, the sky lightens, and you consider how air thins with altitude, dropping to half density by about 5,000 meters. You feel the weight of pressure lifting from your chest as layers of atmosphere grow rarefied. In the hush after stepping into this subtle realm, a quiet question stirs, quietly inviting you forward to mysteries that wait just beyond the rising sun.